My name is Emily. I am 22 years old. 2 weeks ago, something really bad happened to me. I fell down on a big stage. There were 3,000 people watching me. I was supposed to give a speech because I was the best student in my school. But that day I got very sick. The doctor said I had something bad in my brain. They needed to fix it right away. They called my mom and dad. Nobody answered the phone. 3 days later, I woke up. I was in a hospital bed. There were machines making beep sounds. There were tubes in my arm. I looked around for my family. Where was Mom? Where was Dad? Where was my big sister? They were not there. The first thing I saw was my phone. I picked it up. I looked at Instagram. My sister had put up a new picture. It was my whole family. They were all standing in front of a big tower in Paris, France. They were all smiling so big. The words under the picture said, "Family trip in Paris." Finally, no stress, no drama. I felt like someone punched me in the stomach. They went on vacation. While I was in the hospital, I did not say anything. I did not write a comment. I did not call them. Then my phone started ringing. Dad was calling. 1 call, 2 calls, 10 calls, 65 calls. Then a text message came. "We need you. Answer right now." That's when I knew something. They were not calling because they missed me. They were calling because they wanted something from me. Before I tell you more, if you think this story is good, please like this story. And if you are reading this right now, write a comment telling me where you are from. I want to know who is listening to my story. Now let me tell you what happened before. Let me tell you about 4 weeks ago. That's when everything started to go wrong. It was 4 weeks before my graduation day. I was standing in my old kitchen at home. Mom was looking at wedding magazines. She was planning my sister's wedding. My sister's name is Sarah. She just got engaged to her boyfriend. Now everyone in the house only cared about Sarah and her wedding. "Emily, can you pick up the napkins from the store tomorrow?" Mom did not even look up from her magazine. "Sarah's too busy trying on dresses." "But Mom, I have big tests at school," I said. "You will be okay. You always are," Mom said. "That's the thing about me. Everyone thinks I can do everything by myself. Everyone thinks I don't need help. For 4 years, I have been doing everything alone. I work 25 hours every week at a coffee shop. I also get perfect grades at school. I pay for my own school with the money I earn and with scholarships. But Sarah, Mom and Dad paid for everything for her. Every single thing. They never asked her to work. They never asked her to pay for anything." "Mom, I wanted to talk to you about my graduation," I said. I tried to sound happy. "I need to buy something nice to wear. Can we go shopping this weekend?" Mom finally looked at me, but then her eyes went back to the magazines. "Sweetie, you are so good at finding cheap clothes online. I'm sure you will find something. I need to focus on Sarah's engagement party. It's in 2 weeks. But Mom, my graduation is—" "Emily!" Mom's voice got loud. "Sarah is bringing her boyfriend's parents to the party. Everything needs to be perfect." I just nodded my head. I always nod my head and say okay. That night, I was in my room folding clean clothes. I heard Mom talking on the phone with her friend Linda. "Oh yes, the graduation. Yes, Emily is a top student. Can you believe it?" Mom laughed. "But honestly, the timing is terrible. Sarah's engagement party is the same week. That's more important. Emily understands. She's always been so independent. Independent. That's the word they use when they mean we forget about her." That night, I called the only person who ever asks how I really am. Grandpa Joe. He answered the phone very fast. "Emily, I was just thinking about you." I felt better right away. "Hey, Grandpa, tell me everything. How are your tests? How is your speech for graduation?" I sat down on my bed. For 20 minutes, I talked to Grandpa. I told him about my big paper for school. I told him about the speech I had to give. I told him I was scared to talk in front of thousands of people. Emily, Grandpa said when I was done talking. Do you have your dress yet? Do you have nice shoes? Do you need anything? My throat felt tight. I'm okay, Grandpa. Really? He was quiet for a minute. The kind of quiet that means he knows I'm not okay. Your grandmother would be so proud of you, he said. You know that, right? She always said you had her spirit. I never met Grandma Rose. She died before I was born. But I have seen pictures. Everyone says I look exactly like her. Same brown hair. Same face. I will be there, Emily. Front row. I would not miss it for anything in the world, Grandpa said. Thanks, Grandpa. That means so much to me. And Emily, I have something for you. A gift. Your grandmother wanted you to have it when you graduated. I have been saving it for years. Before I could ask what it was, Sarah opened my door without knocking. Emily, did you use my dry shampoo? I can't find it. I covered the phone. I don't use your stuff, Sarah. She rolled her eyes. She showed me her big engagement ring. Whatever. Oh, congratulations on that top student thing, I guess. Then she left. Grandpa heard everything. He did not say anything, but his quiet said a lot. 1 week before graduation, I was so tired. I only slept 4 hours. I drank 3 cups of coffee. I was running on anger and caffeine. My tests were done. My big school paper was finished. I was working extra hours at the coffee shop because I needed to pay rent. I would never ask my parents for money. They would just throw it in my face later. We helped you that one time, remember? My head had been hurting for 3 days. I told myself it was just stress. It's always stress. Mom called me while I was cleaning tables at work. Emily, I need you home this weekend. Sarah's engagement party is Saturday. I need help setting up. Mom, I have to work. Colin's sick. Sarah needs you. I held the phone so tight. What about what I need? Silence. Then Mom said, Emily, don't be dramatic. It's 1 weekend. Your sister only gets engaged once. And I only graduate once, I thought. Top of my class. 4 years of perfect grades while working so hard I could barely breathe. But I did not say that. I never say that. Fine. I'll be there, I said. I hung up. My head started hurting worse. The room started spinning. I grabbed the counter. You okay? My coworker Jamie looked worried. Yeah, just tired. That night, my nose started bleeding. It would not stop for 15 minutes. I told myself it was just because the air was dry. It was nothing. On the drive home, I got a text from Sarah. Don't forget to pick up the special napkins. And we're something nice. Tyler's parents will be there. Not, how are you? Not, thank you for helping. Just orders. My phone buzzed again. Dad this time. Can you pick up Aunt Carol from the airport Friday? Mom and I are busy with Sarah's party. I pulled my car to the side of the road. My hands were shaking. I could not tell if I was angry or if something was wrong with me. Rachel showed up at my apartment with Thai food. Rachel Miller is my best friend. She has been my best friend since we started college. She is the only person who has seen me cry about my family. You look terrible, she said, coming inside. Thanks. Love you too, I said. Emily, when was the last time you really slept? Rachel asked. I sleep. Liar, she said. I talked to Jamie. She said you almost fainted at work yesterday. I just got dizzy. It's stress from school. It's stress from your family, Rachel said softly. Emily, you are killing yourself for people who won't even come to your graduation. They're coming to graduation, I said. Are they? Rachel asked. I opened my mouth to argue. Then I closed it, because the truth was I did not know. Mom had not talked about it in weeks. Dad kept forgetting what day it was. Sarah did not even know I was top of my class. They'll come, I said quietly. It's my graduation. Rachel sat down next to me. Babe, in 4 years, they have not come to one single award ceremony. Not one. Remember when you won that big teaching award? Who was there? You and Grandpa. Exactly, she said. She took my hand. Emily, you don't have to keep hurting yourself for them. They are not even looking. My eyes got wet. I blinked fast. That night after Rachel left, I was brushing my teeth. Suddenly, I saw two of everything. I grabbed the sink. The headache was back. Worse than before. I should go to the doctor, I thought. But there was no time. The party was tomorrow. I took 2 more pills for my headache and went to bed. My phone lit up. A text from Rachel. If anything happens, call your grandpa. He's the only one who really cares. I did not answer, but I did not delete the message either. It was Sarah's engagement party. I had been working for 6 hours, setting up chairs, putting flowers everywhere, filling champagne glasses, playing the role I was born to play, the invisible helper. The backyard looked beautiful. White lights in all the trees. A huge cake that cost more than my rent for the whole month. 40 people in fancy clothes, laughing and celebrating Sarah's future. Nobody asked about my future. Emily, more champagne over here. Mom waved at me. I got another bottle. My head was pounding. I smiled anyway. Sarah was standing by the fountain. Her boyfriend Tyler had his arm around her. She had drunk 3 glasses of champagne. She was glowing. Everyone, this is my little sister. She pulled me over. Emily does everything around here. Seriously, I don't know what we would do without her. People clapped a little. A few smiled. Then Sarah leaned in. Her voice carried to everyone nearby. She's so good at helping. She's going to be a teacher. Can you imagine? Wiping runny noses for a living. People laughed. Light, mean laughter. I kept smiling. My face hurt. Oh, and she's graduating next week, Sarah added like she just remembered. Veil something. What's it called again? Valedictorian, I said quietly. Right. That. Sarah waved her hand. She's always been the smart one. But being smart doesn't buy Louis Vuitton bags, does it? More laughter. I walked away to the kitchen. I leaned against the counter. I tried to breathe. Through the window, I saw an older man watching. I knew him. Mr. Patterson. He was Grandpa's old friend from work. He looked at me with a strange look on his face. My phone buzzed. A text from a number I did not know. Your grandfather should know how your family treats you. I looked up. Mr. Patterson raised his glass a little toward me. Then he turned away. My hands were shaking. But this time, I did not think it was just because I was embarrassed. After the party, I was alone in the kitchen washing dishes. Everyone else was in the living room looking at engagement photos. Mom walked in. Her face was red from wine. Emily, I have wonderful news. I did not turn around. What is it? We're going to Paris. The whole family. Tyler is paying for it to celebrate the engagement. My hand stopped in the soapy water. Paris? When? Next Saturday. We fly out Friday night. Friday night. Graduation was Saturday morning. Slowly I turned around. Mom, my graduation is Saturday. She waved her hand. I know, sweetie, but the flights were already booked. Tyler got such a good deal. We didn't realize. You're missing my graduation for a vacation? Don't say it like that. Mom frowned. It's not just a vacation. It's for your sister. I'm valedictorian, Mom. I have to give a speech. And you'll be wonderful. You don't need us there, Emily. You've always been so independent. I stared at her, waiting for her to hear what she was saying, waiting for something to click in her brain. Nothing did. Dad agrees with this. Dad appeared in the doorway. He could not look at me. Emily, your mother and I talked about it. Sarah needs family support right now. She's going through a big change. And graduating valedictorian isn't a big change. You're strong, Dad said. His voice sounded tired. You don't need us like Sarah does. The room started spinning. I grabbed the counter. Emily. Mom's voice sounded far away. You look pale. I'm fine. I was not fine. I could barely see. The headache was screaming now. Sharp pain behind my left eye. I need to go. Early shift tomorrow. I walked out before they could say anything. In my car, I sat in the dark for 10 minutes. Then I drove to my empty apartment and cried until I could not breathe. 3 days before graduation, I was lying on my apartment floor. Getting up felt impossible. Rachel's voice came through my phone on speaker. They're skipping your graduation for a vacation? A vacation. It's for Sarah's engagement. Emily, stop making excuses for them. I'm not making excuses. I'm just accepting reality. That's worse, Rachel said. I stared at the ceiling. There was a water stain that looked like a broken heart. How fitting. 4 years, Rachel continued. 4 years you worked yourself half to death, and they can't change one trip. Apparently not. She got quiet, then softer. How are you feeling? Like physically? You sounded weird yesterday. I'm fine. Just tired. That night, I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. The worst headache of my entire life. The pain was so bad, I actually made a crying sound. I stumbled to the bathroom. Blood. My nose was bleeding again. Heavy this time. It would not stop. I sat on the cold floor, head tilted back, waiting. 15 minutes. 20 minutes. Finally, it slowed down. I looked at myself in the mirror. Dark circles under my eyes. My cheeks looked hollow. When did I start looking like a ghost? I should see a doctor. But graduation was in 3 days. I had a speech to practice. I texted Rachel. I'm fine. Going back to sleep. Then I opened my photos. I scrolled until I found one of Grandpa and me from Christmas. He was the only one looking at the camera. The only one standing next to me. I thought about what Rachel said. If anything happens, call your grandpa. He's the only one who really cares. I put his number as my emergency contact. Just in case. Then I took more pills and told myself, 3 more days. I can survive 3 more days. If you have ever felt invisible to the people who were supposed to love you most, if you have ever been the one everyone uses but nobody actually sees, write invisible in the comments below. I see you. I was you. And if you want to know what happened at my graduation, what really happened when I got on that stage, keep reading. Because the next part, I will never forget it as long as I live. Grandpa Joe called while I was practicing my speech for the 100th time. Emily, are you ready for tomorrow? As ready as I'll ever be. I put down my note cards. Are you sure you can come? It's a long drive. Wild horses could not keep me away, he said. I could hear him smiling. I'm leaving tonight, staying at a hotel near your school. I want to be there early. My throat felt tight. Grandpa, you don't have to. I want to. I need to give you something. He paused. Something your grandmother wanted you to have. Grandma Rose left something for me. She left it for you before she died. Made me promise to wait until you graduated college. She knew you would make it. Emily. Even before you were born, she knew. Grandpa, I don't know what to say. What is it? You'll see tomorrow. Just know that your grandmother and I have always believed in you. Even when. He trailed off. Even when what? Even when others forgot to. A long pause. Emily, did your father ever tell you I offered to help pay for your school? What? This was news to me. No. He always said you couldn't afford to help both me and Sarah. Grandpa made a sound like a sad laugh. Is that what he told you? Grandpa, what do you mean? Tomorrow, he said gently. We'll talk tomorrow after the ceremony. For now, just know this. You are not alone, Emily. You never were. I hung up the phone, feeling confused. Grandpa had money. He offered to help pay for my school. Then where did it go? The question spun around in my head. My head hurt bad, but there was no time to think about it. Tomorrow was the biggest day of my life. I just had to make it through one more night. I woke up to a terrible headache and a text from Mom. Just landed in Paris. Have a great graduation, sweetie. So proud of you. There was a picture attached. The whole family at the airport in Paris. Sarah was making a duck face for the camera. Dad was giving a thumbs up. Mom was smiling like she did not have a care in the world. Like she did not just abandon her daughter on the most important day of her life. I did not answer. Rachel picked me up at 9 o'clock. She looked at me and frowned. Emily, you're gray. Like actually gray. I'm nervous. It's fine. It's not fine. When did you last eat? I had coffee. That's not food. She made me eat half a granola bar while she drove. I ate 3 bites before my stomach felt sick. The campus was already busy. Families everywhere. Balloons. Flowers. Proud parents taking pictures. I tried not to look at them. In the waiting area, I checked my phone one more time. Another text from Mom. Send pics. We want to see everything. They wanted to see everything. But they did not want to be there to see anything. I was about to put my phone away when I noticed something. My emergency contact form for the school. I filled it out when I was a freshman and never changed it. First contact, Douglas Miller, father. Second contact, Pamela Miller, mother. I pulled up the form online. I added a third line. Third contact, Joe Miller, grandfather. I did not know why. It just felt right. Then I saw him, Grandpa in the front row, already sitting, already waiting. He waved. In his hands, I saw a big envelope. I waved back. For the first time all week, I felt like I could breathe. Emily Miller. A woman with a clipboard came over. You're up in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I could do this. I just had to stay standing long enough. 3,000 people. The sun was so bright. My cap felt too tight. The black gown was so hot. My name came through the speakers. And now, our valedictorian, Emily Miller. Applause. So much applause. I walked to the podium, 1 foot in front of the other. The stage lights were blinding. I grabbed the microphone. I found Grandpa in the crowd. He was beaming. Rachel was next to him. Phone out. Recording. 2 empty seats beside them. Reserved for family. Nobody claimed them. I cleared my throat. Thank you all for being here today. The words were there. I had practiced them 1,000 times. But something was wrong. The stage started tilting. My vision got narrow, like looking through a tunnel. The microphone slipped from my hand. I heard my own voice. It sounded far away and strange. Believed in me when I couldn't. Pain exploded behind my eyes. White hot. Blinding. The world spun. I saw Grandpa's face. Confusion turning to fear. I saw Rachel standing up. I saw the 2 empty seats. And then I saw nothing. My body hit the stage floor with a sound I will never forget. Somewhere far away, people were screaming. Call 911. Get a doctor. Someone call her family. Hands on my face. Rachel's voice shaking. Emily. Emily. Can you hear me? Grandpa's old hand holding mine. I'm here, sweetheart. I'm here. I tried to speak. Tried to tell them I was okay. But the darkness was swallowing me. The last thing I heard before everything went black was a stranger's voice. Urgent and scared. We're calling her parents now. Does anyone have their number? They won't answer, I thought. Then I was gone. This part of the story, I did not see myself. Rachel told me later when I could finally listen. The ambulance took 14 minutes. I was unconscious the whole time. At the hospital, doctors moved fast. Brain scans. Their faces got serious with each test. Brain tumor, the brain doctor told Rachel and Grandpa in the waiting room. Pressing on her brain. We need to operate immediately. Operate! Rachel's voice cracked. Right now! Within the hour. We need family permission. Rachel pulled out my phone. Found my parents' number. First call, straight to voicemail. Second call, straight to voicemail. Third call, voicemail. Please, Rachel begged into the phone. Emily is in the hospital. It's an emergency. Call us back. Nothing. Grandpa tried next. Called his son directly. Dad picked up on the fifth ring. Dad, we're at the airport about to get on the plane, Dad said. Emily collapsed at graduation. She has a brain tumor. She needs surgery in 40 minutes. Silence on the other end. Then Dad's voice, strangely calm. Dad, we're about to take off. Can you handle things? We'll call when we land. Rachel told me Grandpa's face turned to stone. Your daughter is about to have emergency brain surgery, he said slowly. And you're asking me to handle it? Dad, the flight is 12 hours. By the time we get back, she'll be out of surgery anyway. There's nothing we can do from here. A long pause. Douglas, I want you to hear this clearly. If you get on that plane, don't bother calling me again. But Dad did get on that plane. They all did. Grandpa signed the permission forms as my emergency contact. And when they wheeled me into surgery, I had 2 people waiting. My grandfather and my best friend. My family was 30,000 feet in the air, choosing Paris over me. I woke up 3 days later. The first thing I saw was white. White ceiling. White walls. White sheets. The second thing I saw was Grandpa asleep in a chair next to my bed, still wearing the suit from graduation. The third thing I saw was Rachel, curled up on a cot in the corner, dark circles under her eyes. I tried to speak. My throat felt like sandpaper. Rachel moved, opened her eyes, saw me. Emily! She was at my bed in seconds, tears streaming down her face. Oh my God, Emily! Grandpa woke up. His face looked so relieved. My girl, he whispered. My brave girl. I tried to form words. What happened? Rachel and Grandpa looked at each other. The kind of look that tells you something is very wrong. You had a brain tumor, Rachel said carefully. They took it out. You're going to be okay. Surgery. My voice was so quiet. 3 days ago. You've been asleep for 3 days. I turned my head, saw my phone on the table next to my bed. My parents. I asked. Another look between them. Rachel handed me the phone. Emily, maybe you should wait. But I was already opening Instagram. And there it was, posted 18 hours ago. A photo of my entire family. Mom, Dad, Sarah, standing in front of the Eiffel Tower at sunset. The caption, family trip in Paris. Finally no stress, no drama. Hashtag blessed hashtag family time. 247 likes. 32 comments, all saying nice things. I scrolled through the other photos. Champagne at a cafe. Sarah in an expensive dress. Dad eating croissants. Not one mention of me. Not one. Emily, Rachel's voice was gentle. They know you're in the hospital. Grandpa called them. I looked at my grandfather. His jaw was tight. They know, he said. I stared at the photo again. No stress, no drama. That's what I was to them. Stress. Drama. I closed Instagram. I did not cry. I did not have the energy to cry. 4 days after surgery, I was getting stronger. The doctor said the tumor was not cancer. They caught it just in time. I did not post on social media. Did not comment on Sarah's photos. Did not call my parents. I just existed. Healed. Tried to understand. Grandpa visited every day. Rachel practically lived in my hospital room. The nurses knew them both by name. You need to eat more, Grandpa said, pushing a container of soup toward me. I'm not hungry. Emily Rose Miller, you will eat this soup, or I will feed you myself. I almost smiled. Almost. That evening, Rachel went home to shower. Grandpa fell asleep in his chair. I was finally alone with my thoughts. That's when my phone lit up. 1 missed call from Dad. 5 missed calls from Dad. 20 missed calls from Dad. 65 missed calls from Dad. My heart jumped. Then the text started. Dad. Emily, call me back. Important. Dad. Answer your phone. Dad. Emily, this is urgent. Call immediately. Dad. Emily, we need to talk now. Mom. Honey, call your father please. Sarah. Emily, what did you do? Dad is freaking out. I scroll through them. 65 missed calls. 23 texts. Not one asked how I was. Not one said we're sorry. Not one said we love you. Just we need you. Answer immediately. I showed Grandpa when he woke up. His face got dark. They know, he said quietly. Know what? He took a deep breath. Emily, there's something I need to tell you. Something about why they're really calling. What do you mean? It's not because they're worried about you. His voice was heavy. It's because I told them about the gift. Your grandmother's gift. And they just realized what they might lose. My blood ran cold. Grandpa, what gift? He looked at me with tired, sad eyes. It's time you knew the truth. Grandpa pulled his chair closer, took my hand. 22 years ago when you were born, your grandmother and I made a choice. We opened a special savings account in your name. For college. Not exactly. He shook his head. We knew your parents would pay for college. That's what we told ourselves anyway. This account was different. A graduation gift. Money to start your future. Your grandmother called it your freedom fund. How much? I whispered. Grandpa hesitated. Enough to buy a small house. Or start a business. Or put a down payment on whatever dreams you had. My head spun. That's life-changing money. But Dad told me you didn't have money to help with school. That you could only help Sarah because Sarah asked. Grandpa's voice turned bitter. Your father asked me for money for both your educations. I gave it. I wrote 2 checks. One for you. One for Sarah. Same amount. Then where did my money go? Where? His face looked angry and sad. I don't know, but I can guess. He pulled out his phone, showed me a photo, a bank statement, 2 withdrawals on the same day. 4 years ago, your parents cashed both checks. They put Sarah's part toward her school. And yours. I thought about their new kitchen, Mom's expensive purses, the vacation fund they always seemed to have. They spent it, I whispered. I believe so. And this freedom fund? They didn't know about it. I never told them. I knew Emily. Even back then, I knew they treated you different. This money was always meant to go straight to you on your graduation day. But now they know. I told your father when you were in surgery. I was angry. I said if he didn't come home, I would make sure you got everything. Grandpa sighed. I shouldn't have said it like that. But I was so mad. That's why they're calling. Yes. Not for you. For the money. They arrived the next afternoon. I heard them before I saw them. Mom's high heels clicking down the hospital hallway. Her voice too loud. Which room? Miller. Emily Miller. Rachel stood up from her chair. I should go. Stay. Please, I said. She nodded. Stood by the window. The door burst open. Mom swept in first. Her face was arranged in perfect fake concern. Emily, baby. We came as fast as we could. She leaned down to hug me. I did not hug back. You came as fast as you could. I repeated slowly. 5 days after I nearly died. The flights were fully booked. Instagram says you posted from the Louvre yesterday. Mom's face flickered. We were trying to make the best of a bad situation. Dad came in behind her. He looked tired. He could not look at me. Then Sarah, with shopping bags, actually carrying shopping bags into a hospital room. Hey, Emily. She did not come near the bed. You look better than I thought you would. Rachel made a sound in the corner. I did not look at her, but I could feel her anger from across the room. Sarah, I said calmly. I had brain surgery. I know. That's so crazy, right? She put down her bags. Anyway, we cut the trip short. So you're welcome. The room fell silent. Then Mom cleared her throat. Emily, sweetheart, we should talk as a family. She looked at Rachel. Privately. Rachel stays. Emily. Rachel was here when I woke up. Rachel held my hand before surgery. Rachel stays. Mom's lips got thin. But before she could argue, the door opened again. Grandpa Joe. The temperature in the room dropped. Dad went stiff. Dad! Douglas! Grandpa's voice was ice. Pamela! Sarah! He walked to my bed, took my hand. I see you finally found time in your schedule. Mom started to speak. Grandpa cut her off. Don't. Just don't. If your family has ever come running back, not because they missed you, but because they needed something from you, right, they came back in the comments. I know that feeling. I know how it makes you feel hollow inside. But here's the thing. What happened next in that hospital room? It changed everything. I had been waiting my whole life to say what I was about to say. So hold on, because this is where it gets real. Dad tried first. Dad, can we talk about this like adults? Like adults. Grandpa's voice was quiet, which was somehow scarier than yelling. Your daughter collapsed on stage. She had a brain tumor. The hospital called you 47 times. We were on a plane. You weren't on a plane. You were at the gate. I talked to you, Douglas. You chose to get on anyway. Mom stepped forward. Joe, this is a family matter. Emily is family. She's my family. And for 22 years, I've watched you treat her like she doesn't exist. That's not true, Mom's voice cracked. We love Emily. You love what Emily does for you. There's a difference. Grandpa turned to Dad. Tell me, Douglas, when's Emily's birthday? Dad blinked. March. No, April. October 15th, I said quietly. It's October 15th, Dad. He had the decency to look ashamed. Grandpa continued. What's her favorite book? Her best friend's name? What job did she just accept after graduation? Silence. Rachel knows all these things. She has known them for 4 years. Sarah rolled her eyes. Grandpa, this is ridiculous. We didn't fly all the way back to play 20 questions. No, Grandpa said. You flew back because you heard about the money. The word landed like a bomb. Mom's face went pale. We came because Emily was sick. You came because I told Douglas that Emily would get her inheritance directly, without you touching it. Grandpa's eyes were hard. Suddenly, after 4 years of ignoring her, you're worried about her. That inheritance belongs to the family, Mom said. That inheritance belongs to Emily. Grandpa's voice rose for the first time. Her grandmother left it for her. Not for Sarah's expensive wedding. Not for your kitchen remodel. Mom opened her mouth. Closed it. I watched her thinking hard, and something in me went cold. You want to know the truth, Joe? Mom's voice changed. Something raw breaking through. Fine. You want truth. Dad reached for her arm. Pam. She shook him off. No. He wants to make me the villain. Let's have it out. She turned to me. Her eyes were wet, but not with guilt. With something old. Something hurt. You want to know why I've always kept my distance from you, Emily? Because every time I look at you, I see her. Who? I whispered. Rose. Mom spit the name like poison. Your precious grandmother. The woman who spent 30 years making me feel like I wasn't good enough for her son. Grandpa went very still. The first time I came to this family, Mom continued, Rose looked at me like I was dirt under her shoes. 26 years of mean comments. 26 years of Douglas. Are you sure about this one? 26 years of never being enough. I could not speak. And then she died. And I thought finally I can be accepted. Mom laughed, but it was a bitter laugh. But then you were born, Emily. And you looked exactly like her. Same eyes. Same stubborn chin. Same everything. That's not Emily's fault, Rachel said sharply. I know that, Mom screamed. Then quieter, I know that. But every time I looked at her, I saw Rose judging me. I couldn't. She broke off, covered her face. I should feel bad for her. Part of me did. But another part of me thought, I was a baby. I was a child. I spent 22 years wondering why my mother couldn't love me. And the answer was, because I have my grandmother's face. A woman I never even met. Mom, I said slowly, I'm not Grandma Rose. I know. Do you? Because I've spent my whole life paying for something I didn't do. She did not answer. That told me everything. I pushed myself up against the pillows. My body was weak, but my voice was steady. Mom, I said, I understand now. You had a painful relationship with Grandma. You felt judged. That hurt you. Hope appeared in her eyes. But that is not my fault. The hope disappeared. For 22 years, I've done everything right. Perfect grades. No trouble. I worked 3 jobs so you wouldn't have to pay for my school. I showed up to every family event. I helped with every party, every holiday, every crisis. Emily, I'm not finished. My voice did not shake. I did all of that because I thought if I tried hard enough, you would finally see me. Finally love me the way you love Sarah. Sarah shifted uncomfortably. But I was wrong. Because you were never going to see me. You were always going to see her. I turned to Dad. And you? You watched this happen for 22 years and said nothing. He flinched. Emily, I didn't know how to. How to what? Stand up for your daughter? Ask your wife why she acts cold when I enter a room. It's complicated. It's really not. I shook my head. You chose the easy path. And the easy path meant sacrificing me. Grandpa squeezed my hand. I looked at each of them. Mom crying quietly. Dad staring at the floor. Sarah with her arms crossed, looking defensive. I don't hate you, I said. Any of you. But I also can't keep pretending this is normal. I can't keep being the invisible one. What do you want? Dad asked quietly. I took a breath. I want you to see me as a person. Not as a ghost. Not as a burden. Not as someone who exists to make your lives easier. And if we can't, I met his eyes. Then I'll mourn the family I wished I had. And I'll build a new one. The room was silent. I turned to Grandpa. I want to talk about Grandma's gift. He nodded, pulled the big envelope from his jacket. The same envelope he brought to graduation. This is yours, he said. Your grandmother set it aside 25 years ago. It's been growing interest ever since. I took the envelope. Don't open it, I said to my parents. I know what you're thinking. You're wondering if I'll share it, if I'll pay for Sarah's wedding or your next renovation. Mom started to speak. Stopped. I'm not going to do that. Emily! Sarah finally broke her silence. That's so selfish. Grandma would have wanted. Grandma wanted me to have it. Not you. Me. But we're family. Family. I almost laughed. You're using that word now. After you posted Instagram photos from Paris while I was in brain surgery. Sarah's face turned red. I didn't know it was that serious. Because you didn't ask. She fell silent. I looked at Mom. I'm not taking this money to hurt you. I'm taking it because it's mine. Because Grandma wanted me to have options. To not depend on people who see me as an afterthought. What about us? Dad asked. Are we just supposed to lose you? You already lost me. My voice softened just a little. Years ago. When you stopped showing up. When you stopped asking how I was. When you let me become invisible. I took a breath. But I'm not shutting the door completely. If you want to be in my life, really in my life, you have to earn it. You have to see me as Emily. Not as Rose's ghost. Not as Sarah's backup. Just me. And if we try, Mom's voice was small, then we can start over. Slowly. With boundaries. What kind of boundaries? I looked her in the eye. I'll let you know when I'm ready. Sarah moved first. She grabbed her shopping bags, face tight with anger. This is insane. You're choosing to tear this family apart over money. This isn't about money, Sarah. Really? Because it sounds like I nearly died. You went shopping. She froze. I'm not saying that to make you feel guilty. I'm saying it because you need to hear it. You need to understand what it felt like to wake up in a hospital bed and see your family posing in front of the Eiffel Tower. Her lower lip trembled. For a moment, I saw something crack behind her eyes. Then she walked out. The door clicked shut behind her. Mom was crying now. Real tears. The kind that can't be faked. I'm sorry, she whispered. I'm so sorry, Emily. I know. I was wrong. I was so wrong. I know, Mom. But I don't know how to fix it. Neither do I. Not yet. I paused. But if you really want to try, you have to get help. Talk to someone. A therapist. Work through whatever Rose made you feel. So you stop putting it onto me. She nodded, wiped her eyes, left without another word. Now it was just me, Dad, Grandpa, and Rachel. Dad sat down heavily in the chair beside my bed. Emily, he said quietly, I failed you. Yes. I should have protected you. Yes. I told myself you were strong, that you didn't need me. But that was just an excuse. It was. He looked at me. For the first time maybe ever, really looked at me. I can't undo 22 years. But can I try to do better? I studied his face. The real sadness there. Call me next week, I said finally. Ask me how I'm doing. And actually listen to the answer. He nodded. Stood up. Squeezed my hand once. I will. Then he was gone too. 2 weeks later, I was discharged from the hospital. The doctor said I was healthy. The tumor was gone. They called it a miracle. I called it a second chance. I did not move back home. I used a small part of Grandma's gift to rent a tiny apartment near the school where I would be teaching in the fall. It was nothing fancy. 1 bedroom, a small kitchen, a window that looked out at a parking lot. But it was mine. The fallout happened fast. Sarah blocked me on every social media platform. Her new bio said, "Some people don't appreciate family." I took a screenshot, sent it to Rachel. Rachel sent back a string of middle finger emojis. 2 days later, Rachel called me. She sounded happy. "You're not going to believe this." "What?" "Tyler, Sarah's fiancé. He heard the whole story from his mother, who heard it from the hospital grapevine. Rachel was practically bouncing. He's reconsidering the engagement. I did not feel happy. Just tired. That's not what I wanted. I know. But still. A week after that, I saw on Facebook that the engagement party photos had been deleted. Then the engagement announcement itself. Mom texted me. "Sarah's devastated. I hope you're happy." I stared at the message for a long time. Then I typed back. "I'm not happy about her pain, but I'm not responsible for it either." She did not respond. Dad, to his credit, did call the following Tuesday, right when he said he would. "Hi, Emily." "Hi, Dad. How are you feeling?" "Better. Still tired, but better." A pause. Then, "What did you have for dinner last night?" I almost smiled. Such a small question. But he had never asked it before. "Pasta," I said. "With Rachel." "That sounds nice." It was awkward. Stiff. But it was something. For now, it was enough. 3 months later, I was standing in my new classroom, arranging desks. 8th grade English. 26 students starting Monday. Rachel was helping me hang posters. Or rather, criticizing my poster placement while eating my chips. "A little to the left," she said, mouth full. "No, you're left. I don't know why I keep you around. Because I'm delightful and you love me." I could not argue with that. The room was starting to look like mine. Bookshelves I found at a thrift store. A reading corner with mismatched pillows. A bulletin board that said, "Every voice matters." My phone buzzed. "Grandpa, how's the setup going?" "Almost done." "Are we still on for dinner Sunday?" "Wouldn't miss it." I heard him smile through the phone. "Your grandmother would be so proud, Emily. Building your own classroom. Your own life. My eyes stung. I wish I'd known her. You would have loved each other. He paused. Speaking of which, I found something while cleaning out the attic. A letter she wrote before she passed. Addressed to my future granddaughter. I gripped the phone. What? She wrote it 25 years ago. Before your mother was even pregnant. She just knew somehow. What does it say? That's for you to find out. I'll bring it Sunday. After he hung up, I sat down in my teacher's chair. The one I would use every day for the next school year. Rachel plopped into a student desk. You okay? She wrote me a letter before I was born. Rachel's eyes widened. That's kind of amazing. Yeah. I looked around my classroom. At the life I was building from scratch. It is. Outside, the sun was setting. Golden light came through the windows. For the first time in months, maybe years, I felt like I was exactly where I was supposed to be. 1 month later, there was a knock on my apartment door. Sunday afternoon. I opened it to find Dad standing there, holding a cardboard box. Hi, Emily. I blinked. Dad. I wasn't expecting. I know. I should have called. He shifted the box in his arms. Can I come in? I stepped aside. Let him enter. My apartment was small but cozy now. Plants in the window. Photos on the shelf. Rachel at graduation. Grandpa and me at a restaurant. My students' artwork from the first week of school. Dad looked around, taking it in. You've made this nice, he said. Thanks. He set the box on my tiny kitchen table. I brought you something. What is it? Open it. I pulled back the cardboard flaps. Inside were photo albums, old books, a hand-embroidered handkerchief. Grandma Rose's things, I whispered. Your mother was going to throw them out. Dad would not meet my eyes. I couldn't let her. I lifted the handkerchief. Delicate flowers stitched along the edges. The initials RM in the corner. Dad, I don't know what to say. I know I can't fix 22 years. His voice was rough. I know I failed you in ways that can't be undone. But I wanted you to have these. To know where you come from. I set the handkerchief down. Looked at my father. He looked older than I remembered. Tired. Uncertain. I'm not asking for forgiveness, he said quietly. I'm just asking for a chance to be better. I thought about all the years of silence, all the missed birthdays and empty seats. But I also thought about those Tuesday phone calls. Awkward and stiff, but consistent. Every single week. Okay, I said finally. Okay. Okay, you can try. I paused. But Dad, trying means showing up. Not just when it's convenient. He nodded. Swallowed hard. I understand. Do you want coffee? He almost smiled. I'd like that. 6 months after graduation, I was sitting at my desk after the last bell. The classroom was quiet now. 26 chairs, 26 stories, 26 kids who would come back tomorrow expecting me to teach them how to find their voices. A knock on my door. Miss Miller! It was Marcus, one of my quieter students. Can I ask you something? Of course. He shuffled in. 13 years old. Always in the back row. Rarely spoke up. Did you ever feel like no one sees you? My heart clenched. Yes, I told him honestly. For a very long time, I felt exactly like that. What did you do? I thought about my answer carefully. I found people who did see me. My grandfather. My best friend. And eventually, I tapped my chest. I learned to see myself. That's it. That's a lot harder than it sounds. I smiled. But once you know your own worth, you stop needing everyone else to tell you. He nodded slowly. Thanks, Miss Miller. After he left, I stayed at my desk a while longer. On my phone, there was a photo I looked at sometimes. Me at 6 years old, holding my grandmother's hand in a picture I had never seen before. Grandpa found it in the box of Rose's things. She was smiling down at me, even though she died before I turned one. In this photo, She was looking at me like I was the most important person in the world. I used to think love was something you had to earn, work for, sacrifice yourself for. Now I know better. Love is who shows up. Love is who stays. And I don't need to keep hurting myself to prove I'm worth someone's warmth. I know my worth now. That's enough. That's more than enough. 1 year after graduation, my phone rang while I was grading papers. A number I had not seen in months. Sarah. I let it ring twice. 3 times. Then I answered. Emily. Her voice was smaller than I had ever heard it. Can we talk? I'm listening. Tyler left. For real this time. She laughed, but it was hollow. Turns out his family didn't want a daughter-in-law from a family that abandons people in hospitals. I did not say anything. And I got into some debt. Credit cards. I thought Tyler would help cover it, but she trailed off. I don't know what to do. Why are you calling me? Because you're the only person who doesn't want something from me. Her voice broke. I heard her crying. Real tears. The kind you can't fake. Part of me wanted to say, now you know how it feels to be alone, to be abandoned. But that was not who I wanted to be. Sarah, I said carefully, I'm sorry about Tyler. I'm sorry you're hurting. You don't have to, but I can't fix this for you. I can't pay off your debt or make Tyler come back. That's not my role anymore. Silence. Then, why did you answer? Because you're my sister. And I wanted you to know that I don't hate you. She was quiet for a long moment. I was terrible to you, she whispered. Yes. I don't know why. I never had to try. Everything was always handed to me. And you worked so hard. And I think I was jealous. Maybe. Can we ever be okay? I thought about it. Really thought. I don't know, I said honestly. But if you're willing to do the work, I'm willing to try. Really? But Sarah, you have to actually change. Not just say you will. I know. I hope so. 2 years after graduation, I was sitting in a crowded auditorium, waiting for Grandpa Joe to take the stage. The banner behind the podium said, Community Educator of the Year Award. Rachel was beside me, dressed up for once. I can't believe he's finally getting recognized, she said. He deserves it 10 times over. The announcer called his name. The crowd clapped. Grandpa walked slowly to the podium, 80 years old but still standing tall. He adjusted the microphone, scanned the audience until his eyes found mine. Then he smiled. Thank you for this honor, he began. But I want to dedicate this award to someone else. My granddaughter, Emily. My breath caught. 2 years ago, I watched this young woman collapse on stage at her graduation. She had a brain tumor. She nearly died. He paused, and she woke up to find that the people who should have been there weren't. The audience was silent. But Emily didn't give up. She didn't become bitter. Instead, she built a life filled with people who love her for who she is, not what she can do for them. She's teaching now, shaping young minds, showing kids every day that they matter. His voice shook. Her grandmother, my Rose, once told me, the people who are forgotten by the world need us to remember them the most. Emily taught me what that really means. I was crying now. Rachel was crying too. Grandpa raised his award toward me. This belongs to you, sweetheart, for having the courage to choose yourself. After the ceremony, I hugged him so tight I thought I might never let go. I love you, Grandpa. I love you too, Emily. Your grandmother would be so proud. I know, I whispered. I finally know. My family is complicated. It always will be. Dad calls every Tuesday. Mom sends cards on holidays now. Careful and polite. Sarah is in therapy. We text sometimes. But my real family? They're the ones who showed up. The ones who stayed. Rachel. Grandpa. My students. And finally myself. If you've made it this far, I want to share something with you. I used to wonder why my mother couldn't love me. Why I had to work twice as hard for half the recognition. Why I was invisible in my own family. Now I understand. My mother wasn't a villain. She was a hurt person who never healed from her own pain. Doctors call it projection, when someone's old hurt spills onto someone else. She saw her mother-in-law in my face, and instead of dealing with that wound, she let it poison our relationship for 22 years. And me, my weakness was my desperation for approval. I kept believing that if I tried harder, sacrificed more, achieved enough, they would finally see me. That's called people-pleasing, and it's a survival thing. It kept me safe when I was small, but as an adult, it nearly destroyed me. The brain tumor was the scariest thing that ever happened to me. But in a strange way, it was also a gift. It forced me to see my family clearly. It gave me permission to stop performing for people who weren't watching. So here's what I learned, and I hope you'll remember it. You can't earn love from people who aren't willing to give it. Stop hurting yourself to keep others warm, especially when they won't even look at the flame. Your real family isn't determined by blood. It's determined by who shows up when life gets hard. And finally, you are allowed to choose yourself. That's not selfish. That's survival. If you're in a situation like mine, if you're the invisible one, the forgotten one, the one who gives and never receives, I see you. And I hope you learn, like I did, that the only approval you truly need is your own. Thank you for staying with me until the end. If you have your own story about family, about boundaries, about learning to see your own worth, I would love to hear it. Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And if this story meant something to you, please like and subscribe. There's another story waiting. Something tells me you'll want to hear it. Until next time, remember you matter. You are seen. You are enough.